So Brian Walsh is found guilty of murder 1, but is it gonna stick? Let's talk about his appeal because we know it's coming. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a criminal defense attorney, specifically a public defender. And if you've been paying close attention, you know that an appeal is coming and there is a strong likelihood that it might get granted. So let's discuss why. Here is the issue. The issue at hand comes from the search of Brian's cell phone. Okay, and the consent agreement that he and his attorney had with the investigators, and whether or not they exceeded their search requirements or their limitations when they were looking through his phone originally. Okay, so essentially what happens is Brian and his attorneys come to an agreement with the investigators that they will cooperate and let them search Brian's phone for communications, okay, that are not privileged, so not attorney-client communications, but for the limited scope of communications. Okay, so we're talking like between Anna and him, and I think you could make an argument that spousal communications could be privileged too, but we're talking attorney-client privilege. Now, what does Nick Guarino with the Massachusetts State Police do, and Trooper Proctor from the Massachusetts State Police do? They don't limit it to just communications. They go to Google searches, photos, videos, location data. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but communications means communications. Talking to somebody, not what someone Google searched, not what someone looked up, not a photograph, not a video, not the location data of certain apps. Communications means the fair meaning of communications. Okay, so now what happens, right? This was heard at a hearing. People testified at the hearing, and the judge said, nope, all of this is good. It can come in. Now, her decision, which was a very long decision, I think it's like a 40-page decision, is well-reasoned, and I read it. I just disagree with it, and many other attorneys disagree with it as well, because when you are expanding beyond what the agreement was, you have to be specific about the language of what the agreement says. And the agreement says communications only. It doesn't say Google searches. It doesn't say location data, right? So this is going to be the issue that comes up on appeal. Now, why is that important? Well, the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine, right? If they exceeded the scope of their search by looking at those things on the iPads and the phones and the computers, that data gets excluded because it's the result of an improper search, which means if the appellate courts see it that way, that the word communication means just that, communications, and not the other stuff. The Google searches are out. The location data that put him at the dumpsters is out, which means no dumpster videos. No dumpster videos. And when this case gets retried again, well, if that happens, what do they have? What do they have? It's just some food for thought, because that will be the main issue on appeal. That will be the main issue on appeal, is whether or not the search was valid. And if the search is not valid, all of the evidence that came from that search is excluded as fruit of the poisonous tree. That has been the main issue and the main thought the entire time during this trial for most attorneys that have been watching this case, is if he's found guilty, what's going to happen on this appeal because of this search issue. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm curious how you guys feel about that specific search issue. It's a little complicated, but it's broken down as simply as possible. But let me know your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think. All right, and we'll talk about this tonight on live. I look forward to having a conversation with you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Bye.